Okay, guys, thanks again for covering the Hurricanes. Got a great opportunity this week with Florida State and back in Sun Life for the second consecutive game. I think we all know the type of team that we're playing. 6-1, number 10 in the country. Very veteran on defense. 5 seniors, 5 juniors, and a sophomore. Only given up 90 points on the year. I don't think they've given up a 100-yard rusher yet. 2 shutouts and about 23% on third down. Excellent kick return game with Williams and Joyner, and then punt return game with Green. Hopkins, I think, just broke the all-time scoring record in terms of his field goals. On offense, very good offensive line, veteran offensive line. O'Leary and Hepley do a great job at tight end for them. Emmanuel, I think 19-5 as a starter. Over 70% completion percentage, does a great job distributing the football to his playmakers. His completion percentage is high, not just because of his decision making, but it's high because of his ability to pull the ball down and run and get positive yards. So I think he's something like 14 TDs and 3 interceptions on the year. 3 running backs, we'll see. I think Thompson, I mean, they're all excellent running backs. Thompson's having a great year for them, but we'll see all 3 in the game, and they all bring something special. Pryor's got 6 TDs at fullback and a very unselfish player, and then just a handful of speed and length at wide receiver. So great challenge. I believe it's the best team that we've played this year. I know there's two other teams that are ranked higher than them right now. I think this is the most talented team that we've seen this year, the most complete team, and obviously coming off a big win against Boston College. So with that, I'll open up to any questions that you have and address them.
Al, the daily question, any update or progress with Stephen at this point?
Yeah, there's really no, I mean, he didn't practice today, and he probably won't practice tomorrow. You know, I think at the earliest we'll have a shot to do anything would be Thursday. I mean, at the earliest, and you're talking not pocket stuff, just 7-on-7 and things of that nature. We got a long way to go. I would have to classify him as a game time right now. So I don't know what that would mean in terms of our ACC report. Doubtful maybe if it came out Thursday. So we'll see. Probable, doubtful, one of those.
Is there a chance you could go all the way to Saturday without?
Oh, sure, sure. Ryan did a great job today. He threw the ball well, practiced really well, made all the throws. So we're excited about him. We don't have really 2 separate game plans going in. Ryan ran the whole thing. Preston Dewey backed him up today because I know that question was coming. So we're proceeding like that, and if Stephen's healthy, we'll give it a shot.
Is there a checklist? How do you actually make that final decision?
Just how he feels, you know, against, you know, they both are preparing. They both got to get ready. Stephen's more mental right now. Ryan is more physical, taking the reps with the ones. Again, I'm not going to put Stephen out there if he's not healthy enough to execute. It wouldn't be fair to the team, and it wouldn't be fair to Ryan. So I want to make sure that you know, we're all preparing throughout the week and see how it shakes out.
Where do you see Ryan's strengths as a quarterback?
Oh, he's got a great pocket presence. You know, he's got vision in the pocket. He really has nice touch on the ball. He really is. If I had to say the one thing that he does well is just he's got a good mind. He's got good touch on second level throws, level 2 throws, in cuts, you know, deep overs, you know, corner routes, things of that nature. And he's long. He's not afraid to stay in the pocket and use his vision and his ability to release it high.
You mentioned their rushing attack, but their receivers and their passing attack, they obviously can throw the ball as well. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, listen, you don't get to where they are right now if you're not a complete team. They're a veteran team with an excellent defense. It's an in-your-face defense, and you know, they're opportunistic. They create big plays, get good field position, and the offense is really doing a great job right now, getting everybody involved. And the wideouts are excellent.
Throwing the wildcat in there, what's the theory behind that?
For us?
Yeah.
Again, we were just trying to manufacture some more running yards, and we liked it, and it helped us in the low red too. So I thought Mike James did a good job. Obviously, you want someone there that you can trust. Mike has command of that and runs it really well. And you know, we've used it you know, at other times since we've been here. Mike did a good job with that Saturday.
Al, how important will the running game be in this game to try to keep their offense up?
That's it. It's critical. I think, you know, people are saying, you know, last week we held a team that scored 44 points a game, Jim, to 18. And but they don't understand maybe that the offense had a lot to do with that. Running the ball effectively last week and holding the ball for 30 minutes. The offense had a lot to do with that. Defense played better, but the offense had a lot to do with it. But you can't abandon the run against this team, and you're going to get some negatives. They're very good up front. The tackles are hard to block, but you gotta have patience. Otherwise, the game can spin out on you, and you can't let it spin out.
This game obviously always used to match two of the absolute upper echelon teams in the country. Both programs have kind of gone through some rebuilding. They got back to the top 10 level before they lost to state, but they're still 12. Do you see now you guys getting back and then this game eventually returning to like it was before?
Yeah, I think as I said yesterday, I don't look at it in the sense that maybe some of our fans look at it, and I look at it like we should be mad that they're up there right now. And if you look at the way this rivalry has gone, it's up to the other school to respond. They're ahead of us right now. I recognize that. I hope we all recognize that. Now it's our job to respond, and whatever that means for the entire organization, starting with me, we have to respond. And obviously we have an opportunity to do that Saturday night. And they're ahead of us right now, and so that means obviously player development. That means recruiting. That means whatever we need to do in terms of resources and everything to catch them. And that's what's made these two programs in this game so great. Again, they're ahead of us right now. Hats off to them, and we got to chase them. We got to get to where we want to be.
Is it kind of similar to they beat you 3 straight in Miami, 5-7 overall, that you've got to respond because they've kind of somewhat dominated the last few years?
Yeah, I've only been part of one of them.
Right.
So and clearly they beat us up there last year. They did a great job. We didn't play well enough to win. We certainly didn't play well enough on special teams to win. And hats off to them. And now we're down here. So the other ones I can't really, it is what it is.
Coach, as far as them being ahead of you, I mean, you look at their defense. I think it's like 5 juniors, 5 seniors. They're rolling out there. I mean, as far as the paradigm to follow, isn't that what you're kind of angling toward? Is getting to the point when you have that sort of upperclassman experience on the field?
Yeah, they're playing. They're playing 14 guys up front. They're playing more than 22 guys on defense, but they're playing 14 guys up front that they're just rolling through there. And they chase the ball. They're aggressive. They're strong. Everybody knows their role. And they have some guys that obviously have experience in terms of their number of starts. Look at Carradine and Bjorn and those guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have a number of starts, and they've grown into this, and that's why they are where they are. They're talented and they're experienced, and you need the combination of both. But I don't think there's any question that that's what we're trying to do. We're asking a lot of young guys to grow up quickly. I don't know how this all was put together because I wasn't here. I don't know how it was put together 3 or 4 years ago. Or 3 years ago, but clearly they have a lot of experience in a veteran defense.
You talked a lot about how the way out starts with the Coastal.
Yes.
But on some level too, I mean, is Florida State still the standard that Miami, not standard, but is Florida State still the other school that Miami points to?
I'm not going to diminish what this game means to everybody associated with the University of Miami, and I think they would say the same thing. But all I'm saying to you is we everything that we do, we have to design, and we have to understand that whether we like the model or not, the model is if we don't win the Coastal, we're not going to get back to the BCS. We're not going to get that opportunity. And if you start out, again, I'm not as good as Matt. I was a liberal arts guy, but if you start out 1 of 12, if you have a 1 of 12 opportunity at the beginning of the year, all right, to get to the BCS game, to get to Charlotte and get the BCS game, if you win the Coastal now, you jump to 50%. I mean, it's as simple as that. And we have to do everything that we can do to make sure that we understand that's got to be our initial goal. That's our first way out. And then once we get to there, then we can start talking about getting back to the national scene and those things. That's all I'm saying. Let's not complicate it. And there's some teams that in our league, Virginia Tech has figured out, that formula, that model. And get to there, and then obviously if you have that type of team that's special, now you can win that and go to the BCS games. So does that make sense?
Al, Duke Johnson, how's he doing as far as his toe goes, and how important is he in complementing Mike? In the running game?
He is. We need him. We need him to play more. Clearly, we were all surprised by his ability to. I mean, he's a tough kid. Randy Johnson is a tough kid. For him to do what he did, he did not practice at all last week. Didn't even lace up. and went out there and you know, torqued on his foot and planted, and you know had you know, yards after contact, didn't just go down, you know, worked hard. So I was surprised that he didn't have any ill effects, because we're talking about a turf toe. So I was surprised that we didn't have any ill effects on Sunday or Monday. I'm not saying he didn't have discomfort, but it didn't go backwards. And then today he was, you know, he looked good. So we just gotta get him back in gear a little bit.
Al, how do you keep up the confidence level of your receivers? They've had a chance to make some big plays, had some key drops.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. You can't make any excuses. We've dropped the ball. Certainly 2 weeks ago. We had a couple last week, not to the extent of the Notre Dame game, but it was a difficult environment last week. I think we just got to look it in. We got to frame it, and we got to have confidence, and we'll do that. You know, our guys will bounce back. I mean, our kids are they're throwing and catching well in practice, and they've done a good job all year. And you know, we had some in the Notre Dame game that were unfortunate. You know, obviously Phillip bounced back this past week, and as did some of the other guys. So, but in this game, we had some other guys that dropped passes that didn't drop them in Notre Dame. So it's just something that we have to work through.
Are you seeing defenses dropping more safeties to try to take away that deep ball?
I think, you know, clearly North Carolina did that, and we just can't force it. You know, if they're, you know, again, we don't anticipate that from Florida State just because of who they are and how their personnel. But clearly, Notre Dame did that, and North Carolina did that.
Al, is there an easy way for an offense if a defensive front comes out flying? I mean, just like maybe just like over aggressing, if you will. Is there what's the easiest way for an offense to make them pay when a front seven is just trying to swarm so much early and trying to bring everybody every play? What's the best
again? And that's the kind of misnomer, right? You know, again, the checkmate in football is, you know, if you can destroy with the four down guys without bringing a fifth, or in terms of you know, if you're stopping the run in seven, you know, and not the eighth or ninth. So I think that's where, you know, they have an advantage right now. They're very disruptive what they're down for, and that gives them an opportunity. In terms of combating it, you know, you got to be patient. You know, if you get some losses, you can't abandon your game plan. And then you know, there's some tactical things that you try to do, you know, in terms of misdirection and moving the pocket and things like that I see people, you know, try to deploy against them. So there are some things to do, but at the end of the day, you got to block them and you got to be patient.
How important will it be to get a rush on Manuel? And is he the kind of guy that could hurt you maybe even more once he gets out of the pocket? Is, you know, I know you want to flush him out, but with a guy like him, does it make it tougher on the defense?
No, I mean, he's an excellent quarterback. He's playing really well. His touchdown to interception ratio is excellent. His completion percentage is elite right now, and I think if he doesn't see it, he will get out of the pocket. But we need to get pressure on him. You know, again, no sacks the other day for us, and you know, we need some negative plays. We need to get some sacks. We need some TFLs. We need to get some takeaways. I don't think you can win the game if you don't get those against these guys. You need those three areas. But he is dangerous in space. There's no question about it. I'd prefer to keep him in the pocket if we could and get pressure on him there.
How's the competition going at middle linebacker this week, I guess?
Good. Jimmy, again, as you guys probably know, Jimmy, you know, has been banged up for 4 weeks. So he was part of the, you know, Kirby out, Denzel out. Jimmy kind of was limping around. He's a little bit better now. So Jimmy, Gianni, and Kirby are all getting reps there. Jimmy's veteran enough to play another position too if we needed him at Sam or Will. He could do that. So I didn't watch today, but it looked like Jimmy had a better day. So we'll see how that evolves as the week goes on. But we need him to help us. He was very active towards the end of last year. We just need him to be healthy and right.
Obviously, more than one game of the series has come down to special teams, especially the kicking game. Just talk about Jake's, where his head's at. You know, obviously after the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Jake will be fine. He'll stroke it fine for us on Saturday. I got a lot of confidence in Jake. You know, it was a tough environment the other day to kick in for sure, and I opted to go for it a couple of times on fourth down. Again, that was my decision. It was irrespective of Jake. It was a function of you know, we didn't get an opportunity to go for that 2-point conversion, and I didn't want to kick. You know, I didn't know if we were going to get it back. in terms of how we were playing defense at that time and things of that nature. So, obviously, if we convert the 2 there, we're trying to kick a field goal to tie it up, and then hopefully trying to get it back and kick a field goal to win. So, but anyway, I have confidence in Jake.
How much can be put into the chemistry between a receiver and quarterback?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. And again, when Steven was on this year, in his better games, clearly there was a symmetry there. There was a continuity there with him, and really the thing that was nice, it was DJ and Rayshawn, and then it was Phillip and Allen. So it wasn't just one receiver; it was his ability to get the ball to all 4 of those guys.
And then transferring that over to possibly a different quarterback.
Yeah, no, there's no question. Today was a good start for Ryan, so I was excited about the way he came out and performed. I think Jed was too, just talking to him real quickly after practice. Ryan has a lot of confidence. He's very bright. He does have experience, and he had confidence today for sure.
How would you assess your offensive line's play this year, and how important is their job, especially this week against?
I think our offensive line has been very good. I think there were some times that we had to abandon the run. That's not on them. That's on me and on the fact that we weren't as good on defense where we could just stay in there and play a normal game. But I think to be honest with you, this is a challenge. This is a great challenge. This is our greatest challenge of the year if you're on the offensive line. This is the greatest challenge so far in this year, in this season for us, and we'll evaluate that. The test is Saturday. You know what I mean? Saturday night. So we'll evaluate that on
Al,
Saturday.
I'm sorry. Can you talk about the fine line between deciding to let Steven start, knowing he might not be 100% healthy, and having him sit out Saturday, which gives him another week or more before your coastal game with Virginia Tech?
Yeah, I'm not going to have that conversation with Steven in terms of, hey, Steven, should we sit you out this game? I'm not. If you want to have that with him, go right ahead. I mean, that's not going to go very well.
But you see my point, right?
No, I do.
He rests and he's ready for that coastal game.
I know, but he only gets so many. We all only get so many shots at this. He deserves an opportunity if he's healthy. I'm not going to ask him to sit out Florida State for any game, to be honest with you. So, if he's ready to go, he's ready to go. If you see Steven out there, it's because he's ready to go. It's not because I'm making him go or he wants to go. It's because he's ready to go and he can execute at the level that we need him to execute in that game. That's it. If he's not, then that question is answered.
So if Steven is ready to go, he starts the game even if he hasn't practiced this week?
I can't say that right now. We're so far away from that. We're just trying to get Ryan and Preston ready. And again, I'm just trying to project for you guys. We're not having the same conversations here. In terms of us, we're getting Ryan and Preston ready. If tomorrow he looks better and can do something, we'll let him do something. If he looks a little bit better on Thursday, but he couldn't do anything today. And we'll see. As I said, it's not a high ankle sprain, so we know it's not going to be, a long time like Denzel's was. But it's swollen. It's significant. So we'll see. I know he's tough. I know that.
Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had Ray Lewis talk to the team last year.
Yes.
I know you're in the web of this week and all, but when you heard the news out of Baltimore yesterday that season's over, who knows about the future?
Yeah.
How'd that hit you?
It's sad. Again, if it is the end, I don't want to speculate. I don't want to become part of that. But if it is the end, I just, for anybody that's given as much as he's given to that organization and means as much as he means to the Miami community, I just hope he ends on the terms that he wants to end on. And if this is it, then how can you say that he didn't make the most of his opportunity from the day he walked here until the day he finished there? Just a tremendous opportunity, and obviously how he played the game. Okay, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.